You reach a point where what you have been waiting for does not arrive when you expect it, where doors remain closed longer than you imagined, and what you hoped would come easily begins to feel distant, not because it is denied, but because it is moving according to a timing you cannot control. And in that space, the heart begins to question what feels delayed, yet in the deeper wisdom reflected by Ibn Arabi, what is written for you does not unfold based on urgency, it unfolds based on readiness. Because what is meant for you is not only about receiving it, but about who you become before it reaches you. And sometimes what feels like waiting is not a pause in your life, but a precise alignment, where Allah is not holding your miracle back, but preparing you so that when it finally arrives, it fits your life without breaking your balance or pulling you away from what truly matters. The timing you cannot see. There is a kind of timing that does not reveal itself to your senses. It does not follow the pace you expect, nor does it respond to how strongly you desire something to happen. It exists beyond your ability to measure, beyond your attempts to calculate when something should arrive. And because you cannot see it, it often feels as though nothing is moving at all. This is where the difficulty begins. The human mind seeks clarity. It wants signs, progress, visible movement. It tries to understand time through what it can observe. When nothing appears to change, it assumes that nothing is happening. Yet what is hidden is not absent. It is simply unfolding in a way that does not present itself immediately. In the deeper understanding of Ibn Arabi, what is written for you does not move according to your awareness of it. It moves according to a precision that exists independently of your perception. What you call delay is often a reflection of what you cannot yet see, not a reflection of what is not happening. There are layers to every outcome. What eventually reaches you is not a single event, but the result of many conditions coming together. Some of these conditions exist within you, your understanding, your stability, your readiness. Others exist outside of you, circumstances, people, sequences that must align in a specific way. None of this unfolds randomly. Yet from your position, you are only able to see a small part of this process. This is why the timing feels invisible. You are looking for movement in places where it has not yet appeared, while the actual movement is happening in areas you do not have access to. This creates a sense of stillness, even when everything is being arranged with exactness. There is also a tendency to compare timing. You see others receiving what you are still waiting for. You notice how quickly things unfold for them, and you begin to question your own path. But timing is not shared in the way outcomes appear to be. Each path carries its own sequence, its own order, its own preparation. What arrives for someone else is not a measure of what should arrive for you, because what is meant for you must match your condition completely. If something were to reach you before its time, it would not settle in the same way. It would feel out of place, difficult to carry, or even disruptive. Timing is not only about arrival, it is about fit, about alignment between what is given and the state you are in when you receive it. This is why what you cannot see matters more than what you can. Within that unseen timing, adjustments are being made, not in a way that is obvious, but in a way that is precise. Your understanding deepens gradually. Your awareness shifts in small ways. Your capacity changes without announcing itself. These changes may feel insignificant, yet they are essential. Conditions around you are also being arranged. Situations that must occur before your moment are unfolding. People you have not yet met are moving within their own paths. Events that seem unrelated are taking their place within a larger sequence. All of this contributes to what will eventually reach you. But because you cannot see this full picture, it feels as though you are waiting in emptiness. Yet this emptiness is not empty. It is filled with movement that does not reveal itself yet. There is also a form of trust that is developed within this hidden timing. When you cannot see what is happening, you are faced with a choice: to doubt or to remain steady, to assume absence or to recognize that what is unseen may still carry purpose. This trust is not built through explanation. It is built through staying present without needing immediate confirmation, through allowing what is unfolding to continue without forcing clarity before it is ready to appear. The timing you cannot see is not distant from you. It is surrounding you in ways that are not yet visible. It is shaping your path quietly, without drawing attention to itself. And even though it does not present itself clearly now, it carries a precision that will become evident when everything comes into place. What feels uncertain is not without direction. What feels slow is not without movement. And what you cannot see is not without purpose. It is simply unfolding beyond the reach of your current awareness. When your pace is slowed intentionally, there are phases in life where your movement begins to slow in a way you did not choose. Plans that once seemed clear lose their momentum. Steps that felt certain become uncertain. What used to move quickly now requires more patience, more waiting, more stillness. It can feel as though something is holding you back, as though your path has become heavier without explanation. This slowing can be difficult to accept because the heart is naturally inclined toward progress. It seeks forward movement, visible change, a sense that something is advancing. When that movement is reduced, it may feel like a loss of direction. Yet what appears as restriction is not always limitation. It can be a form of guidance that is not immediately understood. Movement is not always beneficial simply because it is fast. There are moments when moving too quickly would lead you into a state you are not prepared to carry. What you desire may be close, but your ability to hold it with balance may not yet be formed. In such cases, slowing becomes a form of protection rather than denial. When your pace is reduced, it is not because your path has been taken away. It is because your path is being adjusted. The speed at which you move must match the stability within you. If something arrives before that stability is present, it may create imbalance instead of fulfillment. What is meant to support you could begin to overwhelm you. This is why the slowing feels intentional. You are not being pushed forward without preparation. You are being held in a space where your understanding can deepen, where your awareness can settle, where your reactions can become more measured. These changes are not always visible, but they shape how you will carry what comes next. There is also a refinement happening in how you relate to what you seek. When movement is constant, it is easy to attach yourself to outcomes without reflection. You move from one step to another without pausing to understand why you are moving at all. But when your pace slows, you are brought into a state where reflection becomes unavoidable. You begin to question your intentions. You begin to notice your expectations. You begin to understand what truly matters and what does not. This reflection is not separate from your progress. It is part of it. Without it, your movement would remain surface level. You might reach what you desire, but without the depth to sustain it. Slowing gives you that depth. It creates a foundation that is not easily shaken. There is also a form of care within this reduced pace. Not every opportunity that appears beneficial is aligned with your path at that moment. By slowing your movement, you are being kept away from choices that could lead you away from what is truly meant for you. What feels like delay can be a form of protection from misdirection. This phase teaches you how to exist without constant progress. It shows you that your value is not tied to how quickly you move or how much you achieve. You learn to remain steady even when nothing is visibly changing. This steadiness becomes a strength that carries into every part of your life. Many people resist this slowing. They try to force movement where it is not flowing. They push themselves into outcomes that are not yet aligned. In doing so, they create tension within their own path. What could have unfolded with ease becomes difficult not because it was meant to be difficult, but because it was approached before its time. When your pace is slowed intentionally, it is an invitation to move differently, not with urgency, but with awareness, not with force, but with alignment. It asks you to trust that what is unfolding is not random, even if it is not yet clear. This slowing is not the absence of progress. It is a different kind of progress, one that works beneath the surface, shaping your capacity, refining your direction, and preparing you in ways that visible movement cannot achieve. And even though it may feel unfamiliar, it carries a precision that will become evident when your movement returns with clarity and ease. The difference between wanting and being ready. There is a subtle distinction between wanting something and being ready to receive it, yet it is a distinction that is often overlooked. Wanting feels immediate. It arises from desire, from longing, from the feeling that something is missing and must be obtained. It carries intensity, sometimes urgency, and it pushes the heart toward what it believes will complete it. But readiness is not the same. Readiness is quieter. It does not push. It does not rush. It forms gradually, often without drawing attention to itself. While wanting looks outward toward what is desired, readiness develops inward, shaping the capacity to hold what is meant to arrive. This is where confusion often begins. A person may feel a strong desire for something and assume that the strength of that desire means it should be fulfilled quickly. The feeling itself becomes proof in their mind that the time has come. Yet, desire alone does not determine timing. It only reveals inclination, not preparedness. What reaches a person must match their state, not just their wish. What is given is not only about the object itself, but about how it will be carried, understood, and sustained. Without readiness, even something good can become a source of imbalance. When you want something, you focus on its arrival. When you are ready, you are able to hold it without being consumed by it. This difference is not always visible at first. It reveals itself over time. A person may receive what they wanted, yet feel unsettled by it. The responsibility may feel heavier than expected. The outcome may not bring the clarity they imagined. This happens when wanting was present, but readiness had not fully formed. The external arrival does not automatically create internal stability. Readiness requires alignment. It requires a certain steadiness within your awareness, a clarity in your intention, a balance in how you respond to what is given. These qualities are not created instantly. They develop through experience, through reflection, through phases where nothing is visibly changing, but everything is being shaped. There is also a refinement of expectation that takes place. When you want something, you often imagine it in a specific way. You attach meaning to it, believing it will bring a certain feeling or complete a certain part of your life. But readiness allows you to receive without holding tightly to those expectations. It creates space for what arrives to be understood as it is, not as you imagined it. This is why readiness is often developed in moments where what you want is not immediately given. It allows your understanding to deepen. It allows your attachment to soften. It allows your awareness to become more balanced. Without this process, what you receive may not remain stable. There is also a difference in how each state affects your actions. Wanting can lead to urgency. It can push you to move quickly, to make decisions based on desire rather than clarity. It narrows your focus, sometimes causing you to overlook what is not aligned. Readiness, on the other hand, brings a calm approach. It does not rush toward outcomes. It allows you to move with awareness, recognizing what fits and what does not. This calmness is not a lack of desire, it is a sign of alignment. It shows that your state is no longer driven only by what you seek, but guided by how you are able to carry it. There is also a form of protection within this distinction. If everything you wanted arrived immediately, without the formation of readiness, you would be placed in situations that exceed your capacity. What is meant to support you could instead create confusion or instability. By allowing readiness to develop first, what eventually arrives becomes something you can hold with balance. This is why the timing does not follow desire alone. It follows alignment. Wanting tells you what you are drawn toward. Readiness determines when it can enter your life without creating imbalance. Both have their place, but they are not the same. Understanding this difference changes how you see what feels delayed. It is no longer seen as absence, but as preparation. It becomes a space where your capacity is being shaped, even if you cannot fully see how. And when readiness is formed, what arrives does not feel overwhelming or uncertain. It settles into your life in a way that feels natural, as if it belongs there, because it does. Not only as something you desired, but as something you are now able to carry. The hidden order behind delays. There are moments in your journey where everything appears to stand still. Effort continues, intention remains, yet the outcome does not appear. What you hoped would arrive remains distant, and what you expected to open stays closed. From your perspective, it feels like a delay. It feels like something is not moving, yet what you call delay is often a reflection of what you cannot see. Nothing unfolds without order. What appears scattered or paused is, in reality, arranged with a precision that is not immediately visible. There is a sequence behind every outcome, and that sequence is not always accessible to your understanding. You are looking at a single point in time, but what is unfolding spans beyond that point. Every result is not a single event, but a convergence of many elements. Your state, your understanding, your readiness, the circumstances around you, the timing of other people, the unfolding of events that seem unrelated, all of these must come together in a specific way. If even one of these elements is not aligned, the outcome cannot settle in the way it is meant to. This is the hidden order. It is not chaotic. It is not random. It is not delayed without reason. It is precise. Yet from where you stand, you only see the absence of the result. You do not see the preparation of the conditions. You do not see the alignment taking place beyond your awareness. And because of this, the mind interprets stillness as delay. But stillness does not mean inactivity. It means alignment is still forming. There are parts of this order that exist within you. Your understanding may still be developing. Your perception may still be shifting. Your ability to carry what you seek may still be forming in ways that are not immediately noticeable. These changes are not loud, and they do not announce themselves, yet they are essential. There are parts of this order that exist outside of you. Situations that must occur before your moment arrives are unfolding in their own time. People who will become part of your path are moving within their own journeys. Events that appear unrelated are taking their place within a larger sequence. All of this contributes to what will eventually reach you. But because you cannot see this entire structure, it feels like nothing is happening. There is also a refinement taking place in how you relate to what you are waiting for. When something does not arrive immediately, your attachment to it begins to change. You are given the opportunity to see whether your desire is balanced or excessive, whether it is grounded or driven by urgency. This refinement is part of the order, even though it does not appear as progress. Without this refinement, what arrives may not remain stable. Delays also protect you from incomplete outcomes. If something were to arrive before its full structure is in place, it would not carry the same strength. It might appear quickly, but it would not hold. What is built without complete alignment often requires correction later, and that correction can be more difficult than waiting for proper timing. This is why what appears delayed is often being completed in ways you cannot observe. There is also a lesson in how you perceive time itself. You measure time based on expectation. You compare what is happening with what you thought should happen. When the two do not match, you feel delayed. But what you expect is not always aligned with what is written. Your measure of time is limited, while the order unfolding is not. Understanding this does not remove the feeling of waiting, but it changes how you relate to it. Waiting is no longer seen as emptiness. It becomes a space where something is being arranged beyond your sight. It becomes a phase where alignment is still forming, even if it is not yet visible. There is also a trust that begins to develop within this process. Not a blind trust, but one that forms through recognizing that not everything is meant to be seen immediately. That what is hidden can still carry purpose. That what feels paused may actually be progressing in a different way. This trust does not come from explanation alone. It comes from allowing the process to unfold without forcing it to reveal itself prematurely. The hidden order behind delays is not separate from your journey. It is part of its structure. It ensures that what arrives does so with completeness, with balance, with the ability to remain rather than fade. What you are waiting for is not simply being held back. It is being placed into its proper form. And when that form is complete, what once felt delayed will appear with a clarity that removes the question of why it took time at all. Because in that moment, you will see that nothing was out of place. Everything was unfolding in an order you could not see, but one that was always present. Why forcing what is meant for you creates imbalance. There is a subtle mistake that often goes unnoticed. The belief that if something is meant for you, then pushing harder will bring it closer. Effort has its place, and movement is part of the path, but there is a difference between moving with alignment and moving with force. When that difference is not recognized, a person begins to push beyond what is natural for their state, and this is where imbalance begins to form. Forcing something creates tension, not always visible, but present beneath the surface. You may reach what you desire through pressure, through persistence, through intensity. Outwardly, it may appear as a success. Yet inwardly, something does not settle. There is a strain in how you carry it, a subtle discomfort that does not match the idea of fulfillment you once imagined. What is meant for you arrives in a way that aligns with your state. It does not require you to step outside of your balance in order to reach it. It does not demand that you force yourself into conditions that do not match your readiness. What belongs to you comes with a certain ease, not an absence of effort, but an absence of distortion. When something is forced, it often enters your life before its full alignment is present. You may not notice this immediately. It feels like progress. It feels like you have taken control of your path, that you have moved beyond waiting and into action. But over time, the imbalance reveals itself. What you gained begins to feel heavier than expected. The stability you assumed would be there is not fully formed. What you reached does not integrate smoothly into your life. This happens because forcing accelerates arrival without ensuring readiness. It moves the outcome forward, but leaves your internal state behind. As a result, you are placed in a position where you must carry something that has not fully matched your capacity. This creates a strain not only in how you handle what you received, but in how it affects the rest of your life. It may disrupt your focus, your clarity, your sense of balance. There is also a distortion that occurs in your perception when you force something. Your attention becomes narrowed. You focus only on reaching the outcome, often overlooking what is not aligned. You may ignore signs that something is not fully in place because your desire has taken priority over your awareness. This narrowing leads to choices that are not grounded. You move based on urgency rather than clarity. And even though you may arrive at what you sought, the path you took to reach it may leave traces that affect how you experience it later. Forcing also changes your relationship with what you receive. Receiving it with steadiness, you hold on to it tightly. There is a fear of losing it because it did not arrive through a natural unfolding. It feels as though it must be maintained through continued effort, rather than being supported by its own alignment. This creates a cycle of tension. You do not simply receive, you manage. You do not simply hold, you protect. And in doing so, the very thing you desired becomes a source of pressure rather than ease. There is also a loss of trust when forcing becomes a pattern. You begin to rely more on your own effort than on the alignment of what is unfolding. You feel that everything depends on how much you push, how much you control, how much you insist. This creates a constant sense of responsibility that can become overwhelming over time. Yet what is meant for you does not require this constant pressure. It does not require you to hold everything together through force. It arrives in a way that allows it to remain without creating strain. This does not mean that effort is unnecessary. Effort is part of the path, but it must be aligned with timing. When effort moves ahead of timing, it becomes force. When it moves with timing, it becomes flow. Understanding this changes how you approach what you seek. You begin to recognize that reaching something is not the only goal. How it enters your life matters just as much. Whether it settles with balance or arrives with tension makes a difference in how it will remain. There is also a form of protection in not forcing what is meant for you. When you allow timing to unfold naturally, you are kept within alignment. You are not pushed into situations that exceed your readiness. You are not placed in positions that disrupt your balance. You are guided toward what fits your state as it evolves. This guidance may feel slower, but it carries stability, and stability allows what you receive to remain rather than requiring constant effort to sustain it. Forcing what is meant for you creates imbalance because it separates arrival from readiness. It brings something into your life before its full foundation is formed. It replaces alignment with urgency, and in doing so, it introduces tension into what could have been steady. What is meant for you does not need to be pulled toward you with force. It moves toward you through alignment. And when it arrives in that way, it does not disturb your balance. It becomes part of it. The role of stillness in divine timing. There is a quality within stillness that is often misunderstood. It is seen as emptiness, as inactivity, as a period where nothing meaningful is taking place. The mind, accustomed to movement and visible progress, interprets stillness as absence. It assumes that if nothing is changing outwardly, then nothing is unfolding at all. Yet stillness carries a depth that movement alone cannot reach. Stillness is not the opposite of progress. It is a condition where a different kind of progress becomes possible, one that is not expressed through action, but through alignment. It is a space where what is scattered begins to gather, where what is unclear begins to settle, where what is excessive begins to fall away. When your path enters a phase of stillness, it is not an interruption, it is a placement. You are being held in a condition where your awareness is no longer being pulled in many directions. The urgency that once drove you begins to quiet. The constant need to move forward begins to soften. What remains is a form of presence that is not driven by immediate outcomes. This presence allows something important to happen. Your perception begins to adjust. Without the pressure to act, you begin to see more clearly. You notice what you were previously moving past. You recognize patterns that were hidden beneath constant activity. You begin to understand what truly holds value and what was only taking up space. This clarity does not come from effort. It comes from allowing yourself to remain within stillness long enough for understanding to form. There is also a refinement of intention that takes place in this state. When movement slows, your reasons for seeking certain outcomes become more visible. You are no longer carried forward by momentum alone. You begin to question what you are pursuing and why. This questioning is not meant to create doubt, but to bring sincerity. It separates what is driven by urgency from what is aligned with your deeper purpose. Stillness also creates balance within your inner state. During constant movement, it is easy for your awareness to become uneven. One part of you may move forward, while another remains unsettled. This creates tension, even if it is not immediately recognized. Stillness allows these parts to come into alignment. It gives space for your awareness to become whole rather than divided. There is also a form of preparation that happens only in stillness. What you are meant to receive requires not only external conditions, but internal stability. That stability cannot be rushed. It develops through time, through reflection, through a gradual adjustment that cannot occur in constant motion. Stillness provides the environment for this development. Many people resist stillness because it feels unfamiliar. Without movement, there is nothing to distract from what is within. Thoughts become more noticeable. Emotions that were pushed aside may surface. This can create discomfort, leading a person to seek movement again as a way to avoid what has appeared. Yet this discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It is part of the process. What arises in stillness is what was already present, but hidden beneath activity. By bringing it into awareness, stillness allows it to be understood, and through understanding, it begins to lose its hold. This is how inner balance is formed, not by avoiding what is within, but by allowing it to be seen clearly. There is also a quiet strengthening that takes place. When you remain steady, without constant progress, you develop a form of stability that does not depend on outcomes. You learn to exist without needing immediate results. This steadiness becomes essential when what you are waiting for finally arrives, because it allows you to carry it without becoming overwhelmed. Stillness is also where trust begins to deepen, not through explanation, but through experience. When you remain in a state where nothing is visibly changing, yet you continue without losing balance, you begin to understand that progress is not always visible. You begin to trust that what is unfolding does not need to show itself immediately in order to be real. This trust changes how you relate to time. You are no longer measuring your journey based only on what you can see. You begin to recognize that there are processes unfolding beyond your perception, and that stillness is part of those processes. In divine timing, stillness is not separate from movement. It is what prepares movement. It is what ensures that when things begin to unfold outwardly, they do so with clarity, with balance, with the ability to remain steady rather than collapse under pressure. Without stillness, what arrives may feel overwhelming. With stillness, what arrives feels aligned. The role of stillness is not to delay your path, but to shape it. It ensures that what reaches you does not disrupt your balance, but becomes part of it. It refines your awareness, strengthens your stability, and prepares you in ways that cannot be achieved through constant motion. What appears as stillness is not empty. It is a space where alignment is taking place. And within that alignment, your path is being formed with a precision that movement alone cannot provide. When the heart stops resisting the timing, there is a quiet turning point within a person that does not come from changing circumstances, but from a change in how those circumstances are held. What once felt heavy begins to feel lighter, not because the waiting has ended, but because the resistance within the heart begins to ease. This shift is subtle, yet it carries a depth that alters everything. The heart resists what it cannot understand. It measures time against expectation. It compares its path with others. It questions why what is desired has not yet appeared. This resistance is not a sign of weakness. It is a natural response to uncertainty, to the feeling that something important remains out of reach. Something begins to change. The questions lose their intensity. The urgency begins to soften. The need for immediate answers becomes less demanding. This shift is not the result of external change, it is the result of an inner alignment. The heart begins to recognize that what it is experiencing is not random, and that its movement is part of a timing that does not need to be forced. When resistance is present, everything feels heavier. Waiting becomes pressure. Uncertainty becomes discomfort. The mind continues to search for explanations, trying to find clarity where it is not yet meant to appear. This searching creates tension because it attempts to control what is not within its reach. But when resistance begins to fall away, a different state emerges. The heart becomes quieter, not silent in the sense of emptiness, but quiet in the sense of steadiness. It no longer pushes against what is unfolding. It allows the process to continue without constant interference. This does not mean that desire disappears. It means that desire is no longer mixed with urgency. This is where a deeper form of trust begins to take shape. Not a trust built on visible proof, but one that develops through experience. Through recognizing that even when nothing appears to be happening, something continues to unfold. Through seeing that forcing does not bring clarity, and that stillness does not mean absence. As this trust grows, the heart becomes less reactive. It no longer responds to delay with the same intensity. It no longer measures its journey through comparison. It becomes anchored in its own path, aware that what is meant for it does not depend on how quickly others move. There is also a release that takes place within this state. The need to control timing begins to dissolve. The need to understand everything immediately begins to loosen. What remains is a form of acceptance, not passive, but aware. It is an acceptance that recognizes that not everything needs to be explained in order to be real. That what is unfolding can be trusted even when it is not visible. This acceptance does not weaken the heart, it strengthens it, because it removes the tension that comes from constant resistance. It allows the heart to exist without being pulled between expectation and reality. It creates a stability that is not dependent on outcomes, but on presence. Waiting no longer feels like being held back. It begins to feel like being placed exactly where you need to be. The same circumstances remain, yet the experience of them changes. What once felt uncertain now feels purposeful, even if the purpose is not fully understood. There is also a clarity that begins to form, not in the sense of knowing exactly what will happen, but in understanding that what is happening is not without meaning. This clarity does not come through explanation, it comes through the absence of resistance. When the heart is no longer pushing against the timing, it becomes more receptive to the awareness that is already present. This receptivity allows you to move differently. You act without urgency. You wait without tension. You remain steady without needing constant reassurance. This steadiness is not forced. It arises naturally when resistance is no longer dominating your awareness. What makes this state significant is that it aligns you with the timing itself. You are no longer separate from it, trying to move ahead or pull it closer. You are within it, moving as it unfolds. This alignment removes the sense of struggle that once defined your experience. The heart that stops resisting does not lose its desire. It refines it. It holds it without being consumed by it. It trusts that what is meant to arrive will do so at the right point, without needing to be forced into existence. And in this trust, something settles. Not in the world around you, but within you. A calm that does not depend on change. A clarity that does not require immediate answers. A stability that remains even when the path is not fully visible. This is where the heart finds balance. Not by controlling timing, but by aligning with it. What once felt like waiting transforms into a state of quiet certainty, one that does not rush, does not resist, and does not lose its steadiness, no matter how long the path continues. The precision of what finally arrives. There comes a phase where what you have been waiting for begins to enter your life, Not with force, not with confusion, but with a quiet clarity that feels settled from the moment it appears. It does not arrive in a way that overwhelms you. It does not disturb your balance. Instead, it fits into your life with a sense of rightness that is difficult to describe, yet immediately recognized. This is what makes its arrival different. It is not only that it has come, but how it has come. What is written for a person reaches them with precision, not just in timing, but in form, in impact, and in the way it integrates into their life. It does not simply appear, it arrives in a condition that matches who you have become. What once felt distant now feels natural. What once felt uncertain now feels clear. What once felt urgent now feels steady. This shift does not happen suddenly without reason. It is the result of everything that unfolded before it. The waiting, the slowing, the stillness, the refinement of your awareness, all of it has shaped your ability to receive what is now present. Without that preparation, this moment would not feel the same. You may have desired this outcome before, but if it had arrived then, it would not have settled in the way it does now. It might have created imbalance, or required effort to maintain, or left you uncertain in how to carry it. But now, something is different within you. You are not reaching for it with urgency. You are not holding on to it with fear. You are receiving it with steadiness. This steadiness is what allows it to remain. There is also a sense of ease in how things unfold around this arrival. Not necessarily because everything becomes simple, but because there is no internal resistance. You are not forcing yourself to adjust. You are not struggling to fit into what has come. Instead, there is a natural alignment between your state and what has been given. This alignment creates a feeling of completeness, not in the sense that everything is finished, but in the sense that what has arrived belongs. It does not feel misplaced. It does not feel premature. It feels as though it has entered your life at the exact point where it was meant to. This is the precision. It is not only about receiving what you want, it is about receiving it in a way that does not disrupt your balance. There is also a clarity that comes with this moment. You begin to see why things did not happen earlier, not through detailed explanations, but through recognition. You understand, in a quiet way, that what you were waiting for required a certain state within you. And now that state is present. This understanding removes the question of delay. It shows you that nothing was missing, nothing was late. Everything was unfolding according to a sequence that could not be shortened without altering its outcome. There is also a change in how you relate to what you have received. You no longer see it as something that defines you. You see it as something that is part of your path, something to be carried with awareness rather than attachment. This perspective allows you to remain balanced even as your circumstances change. What arrives does not control you. You remain steady within it. This steadiness is what allows what you have received to remain a source of benefit rather than becoming a source of pressure. Another aspect of this precision is that it does not isolate itself from the rest of your life. It connects with other parts of your path. It supports your direction. It aligns with your understanding. It does not pull you away from what matters. It integrates with it. This is what makes it sustainable. What is given at the right time does not require you to sacrifice your balance in order to hold it. It becomes part of your life in a way that feels natural, even if it carries responsibility. That responsibility does not feel overwhelming because it matches your capacity. There is also a quiet gratitude that emerges, not only for what has arrived, but for the process that led to it. You begin to recognize that the waiting was not empty, the stillness was not without purpose, the slowing was not a barrier. All of it contributed to this moment, and without it, what you now hold would not have the same depth. This realization brings a different kind of peace, not the peace that comes from finally